So today we're going to go through and talk about some of the aha moments from our conference. We had a lot of good communications. We had a lot of good meetings, lots of great insights from our speakers.
What are your thoughts about the ELE conference?
For me, one of the things that Josh shared, which really changed my mindset in the moment and then for the rest of the day, was to not think about artificial intelligence as a new tool or a new technology, but think of artificial intelligence as a new hire. And Josh went on to describe that, like a new hire, you have to invest in it. You have to give it structure and instructions and directions and feedback, and you need to iterate, and you need to give it care, and you need to get it introduced to its colleagues, and all the things that you would do for a new hire. An intern working on your team was another analogy he used.
One of the things that Josh mentioned, and I won't be able to quote it exactly because I couldn't remember his exact quote from that day, but it was really around, creating guidelines for your employees that kind of empowers them to operate within guardrails, right? Kind of like an empowerment through clarity. The other thing that stuck out to me anyway was during the breakout session that I had a chance to do with Nicholas. We were doing the practical lab for building onboarding guides. And it really just stood out to me that, even though we're 2 years past November 2022, when ChatGPT really kind of made its entrance, we're still in this very wide spectrum of knowledge, experience, and how people are using the tool. There was a person in this breakout session that didn't realize that you could have a continuous chat with, in ChatGPT. They thought that every single time you prompted something, you had to open a new chat. And so they're just restarting every single time. And you're getting very little out of this, right? Your iteration is just like repeating itself every time. And that's got to be very frustrating. And I was like, oh, this is going to change your world.
I actually would back up even further, and I thought how Terry kicked the session off. So for those who weren't there, Terry Hart from Zurich kicked off and talked about agility, which really set the stage, I think, for the entire conference. And it really hit home for me because agility, leadership agility in particular, is something that we're very much focused on developing for our leaders here at CNA in operations. And we define agility, it's called agility quotient. And it really is, there's 4 intelligences that we think of when we think about agility: emotional, social, adversity, and intelligence quotient. And the 5th is agility quotient. And it's the foundation of the other 4. And so the premise is that without agility, none of the other 4 can be maximized, right?
Mike's piece, thoughts about Mike's piece.
My reflection on TQ is this, that we talk about upskilling, but I think what's happening with AI and just I think the floor is raised. Everyone needs to understand more about applications and technologies and data than ever before. It's an a priori requirement. And so I think TQ is a useful construct.
There's a lot of unlearning to do. We tend to just reflexively, we don't think about this. It's all the unconscious competence we have, but that adaptation that helps us so much sometimes keeps us back from the unlearning we need to do to adopt these things, to take on these new do or die moments, or to take on AI. Are we going to adopt AI as learning departments proactively? Are we going to systematically in a way that's wonderful? Are we going to just adopt it slowly through small experiments? Maybe that's a great way. Or are we going to lead in the business and help lean in on that and introduce unlearning to help people disrupt some of their otherwise very busy workflows, to try those experiments that Eduardo talked about? That was really what I was trying to get at. And I hope that resonated with some people.